Happy birthday, Olivia. Here's proof you were never one of us. My sister Claire slid the silver-wrapped box across the mahogany dining table like she was dealing a winning poker hand. Inside, a commercial DNA kit. She didn't even bother lowering her voice. Maybe now you'll stop pretending you belong, she said, loud enough for the caterers to freeze mid-step. My mother, Victoria, went the color of old parchment, but said nothing. I laughed it off in the moment because what else could I do? Then mailed the swab the next morning. Not for Claire. For me. I'd always known the Beaumont house in Seattle was a museum of other people's memories. Crystal chandeliers, oil portraits, floors so polished you could see your own insignificance reflected back. Growing up, I learned to move like a ghost. Claire was the sun. I was the shadow that got scolded for existing. Straight A's earned me a distracted good job, while Claire's C- in chemistry became proof she's a free spirit. Our father, Henry, had been the only one who ever looked at me like I mattered. When he died of a sudden stroke last fall, the chill in that house finally felt permanent. 3 months later, Mom insisted on a small family birthday dinner for my 36th. The table was set for war. Claire flew in from Miami, bronze and triumphant, already flipping through yacht brochures. Mom kept refilling her wine without drinking it. I asked, carefully, if Dad's will had been red yet. Mom's glass slipped. Red bled across the linen like a crime scene. Claire just smiled into her phone. Dessert never came. Instead, Claire produced the DNA kit like a magician revealing the final card.
The room went dead.
Mom whispered, Claire, enough. But it was too late. My sister's eyes glittered with 20 years of stored venom. Go on, Liv. Find out why you never fit.
I did.
6 weeks later, the email hit while I was on a conference call in Portland. No shared DNA detected with submitted Beaumont profiles.
A suggested
paternal match popped up instead. Somebody named Whitaker, a name I'd never heard. I stared at the screen until the words blurred. Then I forwarded the PDF to the family chat with one line. Care to explain? Mom rang within seconds, hysterical, begging me to delete it. It was a mistake from before. I married your father, sweetheart. We buried it. Please bury it again. Claire didn't call. She texted a single emoji, a crown. That crown haunted me, because Claire wasn't shocked. She was celebrating. I hired Harper Klein, a probate litigator who eats entitled heirs for breakfast. 2 days later, the family's longtime attorney, Mr. Lang, requested an emergency reading of Dad's will. Certain triggering conditions have been met, he said cryptically. My stomach dropped. The conference room smelled of lemon oil and impending doom. Mom arrived first, looking like she'd aged a decade overnight. Claire strutted in wearing 5-inch heels and a victorious smirk, trailing her own shark in a $4,000 suit. I sat beside Harper, hands steady for the first time in weeks. Mr. Lang didn't waste time. He opened the will and began reading in a voice that could have narrated funerals. I, Henry Beaumont, being of sound mind, leave 75% of my estate, liquid assets, the lake house, the Seattle residence, and all investment accounts, to my daughter, Olivia Whitaker Beaumont. Claire exploded out of her chair. She's not his daughter. We have proof. Lang didn't flinch. Your father was aware of Olivia's parentage since she was 3. He chose her anyway. Sit down. He continued. Dad had hired a private investigator the year before he died. Evidence poured onto the table like poison. Bank records showing Claire siphoned $87,000 from Dad's accounts during his final hospital stay. Emails where she threatened to expose Mom's dirty laundry unless Dad rewrote the will. Receipts for the exact DNA kit she'd gift-wrapped and weaponized. Lang slid the final page across the table. Dad's handwriting, unmistakable. Claire, I gave you every chance to be better than your worst impulses. You chose greed. The no contest clause is ironclad. Fight this, and you owe the estate every penny you ever borrowed, plus interest. Claire's attorney went pale and started packing his briefcase. Mom was crying silently into a tissue. Claire looked at me, at the sister she'd spent a lifetime trying to erase, and for the first time, She had nothing to say. The judge upheld the will in under 10 minutes when Claire tried to contest anyway. She left the courtroom owning $312,000 in debt and zero claim to the family she thought was hers by birthright. Mom showed up at my new condo in Oregon a month later with a box of my childhood things and a confession that came 20 years too late. I let her talk. Then I closed the door. Some blood is accidental. Some family is chosen. Dad chose me. Quiet, overlooked, easy to miss me, and built an unbreakable fortress around that choice. Claire wanted to prove I was the mistake. Turns out, she was the one who never belonged.